if I had space in this book, I could show you scripture at least strongly indicate it was in the early fall, probably September, approximately 6 months after Passover. If God had wished us to observe and celebrate Christ's birthday, he would have not so completely hid the fact and the date. How this pagan custom got into the church. Then, did this pagan custom creep into the Western Christian world? The new Schaeffer-Hoag's Encyclopedia of Religious Knowledge explains it clearly in its article on Christmas. How much the date of the festival depends on pagan Burmala, December 25th, following the Saturnalia, December 17th to the 24th, and celebrating the shortest day of the year and the new sun cannot be accurately determined. The pagan Saturnalia and Burmala were too deeply entrenched in popular custom to be set aside by Christian influence. The pagan festival, with its riot and merrymaking, was so popular that Christians were glad of and continue in celebration with new changes in spirit and manner. Christian preachers of the West and the New East protested against the unseemly frolic with which Christ's birthday was celebrated, while Christians of Mesopotamia accused their Western brethren of idolatry and sun worship for adopting a Christian pagan festival. Remember, the Roman world had been pagan. Prior to the 4th century, Christians were few in number, through increase persecuted by the government and by pagans. But with the advent of Constantine as emperor, who made his profession of Christianity in the 4th century, placing Christianity on an equal footing with paganism, people of the Roman world began to accept this popular Christianity by the hundreds of thousands. But remember, these people had grown up in pagan custom, chief of which was this idolatrous festival on December 25th. It was a festival of merrymaking with its special spirit. They enjoyed it. They didn't want to give it up. Now, in this same article, in the new Schaeffer-Hoag of Religious Knowledge, explains how the recognition by Constantine of Sunday, which had been the day of pagan sun worship, and how the influence of the pagan mechanism which identified the sun god with the physical sun gave these pagans the 4th century, now turning over wholesale to Christianity, their excuse for calling their pagan festival day of December 25th, birthday of the sun god, the birthday of the... That is how Christmas became fastened on our Western world. May we have called it by another name? It's the same pagan sun worship festival still. The only change is what we called it. We called it a rabbit, a lion, but it's still a rabbit, just the same. Again, for the Encyclopedia Britannica, certain Latins, as early as 354, may have transferred the birthday from January 6th on December 25th, which was then a mythological festival, or birthday of the unconquered sun. The Syrians and the Armenians, who clung to January 6th, accused the Romans of sun worship and idolatry, that the feast of December 25th had been invented by disciples of Cerinthus, the real origin of Christmas. But if we got Christmas from the Roman Catholics and they got it from the pagans, where did the pagans get it? Where, when, and what was it really origin? It is a chief custom of the corrupt system denounced all Bible prophecies and teachings under the name of Babylon. And it originated in the original Babylon of ancient Nimrod. Yes, stems from the root word beginning, was shortly this side of the flood. Nimrod, grandson of Ham, son of Noah, was the real founder of the Babylonian system. That has gripped the world ever since. This system of organized competition and man rule over government and empires based upon the competitive and profit-making economic system, Nimrod built the Tower of Babel, the original Babylon, ancient Nineveh, and many other cities as the world's first kingdom. The name Nimrod in Hebrew is derived from the Mered, meaning he rebelled. From many ancient writings, considerably is learned of this man who started the great organized worldly apathy from God that dominates this world until now. Nimrod was so evil, it is said he married his own mother, whose name was Semiramis. After Nimrod's untimely death, his so-called Semiramis promulgated the evil doctrine of the survival of Nimrod as a spirit being. She claimed a full-grown evergreen tree sprung overnight from a dead tree stump, which symbolizes springing forth unto new life of the dead Nimrod. On each anniversary of his death, the birth, she claims Nimrod would visit the evergreen trees and leave gifts under it. December 20th birthday of Nimrod. This is the real origin of the Christmas tree. Through her scheming and designing, Semiramis became the Babylonian Queen of Heaven, and Nimrod, under various names, became the divine Son of Heaven. Through the generations in this idolatrous worship, Nimrod also became the false Messiah, the son of Baal, the son of God. In this false Babylonian system, the mother-child Semiramis, reborn, became chief objects of worship. The worship of the mother-child spread over the world. The name varies in different countries and languages. In Egypt, it was Osiris and Osiris. In Asia, Cybele and Deimos. In pagan Rome, Fortuna and Jupiter. Even in Greece, China, Japan, Tibet is to be found the counterparts of the Madonna long before the birth of Christ. Thus, during the 4th and 5th century, when the pagans of Rome were accepting the new popular Christianity by the hundreds of thousands, carrying their old pagan customs and beliefs along with them, merely choking them with Christian-sounding names. That must be cloaking them with Christian-sounding names. The Madonna, mother-child ideas also became popularized, especially as Christmas time. Every Christian season you hear songs and chants and dozens of times Silent Night and Holy Night. And with this familiar mother of child theme, we who have been born in such a Babylonian world, reared as steeped in these things all our lives, and have been taught to revere these things as holy and sacred, we never question to see where they came from, whether they came from the Bible or from pagan idolatry. We are shocked to learn the truth. Some, unfortunately, take offense at this plain truth. But God commands his faithful ministers, cry aloud, spare not, lift up like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions. Shocking as these facts are, they are the plain facts of history and the Bible. The real origin of Christmas goes back to ancient Babylon. It is bound up in the original apostasy which has gripped and deceived worlds these many centuries. In Egypt, it was always believed that the son of Iris, Egypt, named for Queen of Heaven, was born on December 20th. Paganism celebrates this famous day over most of the unknown world for centuries before the birth of Christ. This is not the birth of Jesus.